Good afternoon from AlphaCars. My name is Tom, coming to you from our Northampton location, and today we're going to be taking a look at this 2011 Mercedes SL63 AMG. This SL is currently showing just over 31,000 original miles, and if you would like to see a high-resolution detailed photo set, please reference the listing at alphacars.com. There, of course, you will also find a free included Carfax report, alongside a long list of technical data related to the vehicle's remaining tire and brake life, as well as individual readings from each panel using our paint depth gauge. But today I'll be taking you on a quick condition overview around both the interior and the exterior of this stunning Mercedes, as well as showing you some of the more notable features. So starting here on the exterior, we can see this beautiful gloss black finish with some nice metallic, and of course we don't have the direct sunlight. It is getting a bit darker a bit earlier now, but as you can see, really presents nicely. Beautiful gloss on that paint all the way around and down the sides of the vehicle. It all just looks amazing. So let's go really close to the panel so as to look for any dings, dents, scratches, etc. As we make our way down the driver's side, you can see it all looks absolutely stunning. Everything lines up exactly as it should, and there's nothing out of the ordinary. Now these wheels look absolutely fantastic here on the AMG. You can see that 5-spoke design, but almost each one split into 3, and they look fantastic. You can also see that beautiful bright silver AMG branded caliper just behind. It all just looks fantastic, and that same carries to the front. But of course that front brake caliper is much more substantial and really gets you that first clue as to what you're dealing with under the hood of this Mercedes. We won't talk about the gigantic 6.3 AMG badge there with that silver surround on the side, because that also is a bit of a subtle hint, if you will. So here on the hood, you can see that beautiful design there, classic SL styling with those 3 silver strakes to add a little bit of a contrast to the hood, just the same as we do with the wheels. But here at the front fascia, it's really nice. This is one of the few years where Mercedes SLs had this beautiful front end design. It's right when they moved away from those kind of 4 bubble headlights, and just before they all got a little bit, I don't know, melty, if you will. It's still a very angular, aggressive looking Mercedes up here at the front, and I absolutely love that headlight design. I love how sharp that corner finds the bumper cover and accents that aggressive sharp grille beautifully with that nice big Mercedes emblem in the center. And as we can see, of course, no major rock chipping or damage anywhere across the front bumper. It all presents just lovely. So here at the passenger side now, and it's a very similar story. You can see another wheel in very nice condition. Going really close to the panel yet again. Not seeing any dings, dents, chips, or scratches all the way here to the rear of the vehicle. And lastly, we have this rear wheel, which also just looks fantastic. Now looking here at the rear of the SL63, you have this nice little spoiler to accent a slightly more aggressive style in the rear. You can see beautiful design, those classic kind of triangular cut tail lights here in the back that carried over from that prior generation that I discussed a moment ago. You can also see quad exhaust outlets. Very, very aggressive, flanking that nice big diffuser panel there in the dead center. Now before we make our way inside, lastly, you have this beautiful glass panel here on the top of the roof. You can actually see into the interior. Many from this angle would suspect, oh, it's just black finish. It looks just like the black paint on the trunk, but no, that is a full glass panel roof, which is just an awesome, luxurious feature. So let's make our way inside. As you open the door, you can see this beautiful silver AMG script there in the door sill. Looking at those seats as well. Here on the driver's side, you do have a little bit of wear there on the outer bolster, but looking at the bottom, it all looks about what you would expect. And the passenger seat looks absolutely fantastic. Now you can see that AMG badge imprinted there at the top of the seat, and also the heated air scarf, as Mercedes dubbed it, with that vent just there, controlled via this panel here on the door. When that tops down, or even when it's up, if you want to just have a nice bit of heated air blown just over your neck where you tend to get cold with that top down, that's just an amazing feature. And personally, I wish it wasn't only in convertible models. You can also see here some seat controls with massaging and multiple forms of lumbar adjustment, as well as a bit of storage just ahead there. Well, let's make our way inside and take a quick look here around this interior. Let's back out this camera a bit. Beautiful 3-spoke wheel just ahead of me here with these nice big paddles Metal, very solid engagement as you select your next gear. It feels great. Steering wheel controls all look perfect, very nice. No issues with those because they, on a lot of models, have tended to get a bit gummed up or lose their definition and lose symbols, but these just look amazing. You can see all of that leather wrapper on the wheel also looks great. Gauge cluster, nice bright white outer rings just there. And I love the stitched leather over that cowl. You have a clock there on the dash as well as infotainment just below your air conditioning vents, as well as just beautiful design across the door cards with that carbon fiber trim. It all just looks great. So I'm going to start it up. Now I could use the key just there, but that would not feel very fighter jet of me today, and I do feel like I'm sitting in a fighter jet, and Mercedes thought so too, because almost like you're engaging a missile, you can see just there, engine start stop just on the top of that gear selector knob. So with the key in my pocket, that aggressive V8 barks out of the rear exhaust. You can see the infotainment fires up right away. All of the controls just there look great. You also have these cup holders that deploy out of the dashboard just there. Nice and smooth, perfect operation just there. And that's a nice convenient way to have your cup holders hidden. Now you can see there your climate control looks great. All of this carbon trim through the center looks excellent as well. Push this and it reveals a little ashtray or a bit of storage and a power outlet. You also have just here around this silver trim your gear selector and various performance functions like your drive mode selector, your traction control, your sport suspension, your AMG button, which is just going to set the car up to go fast and have a good time, and some various other functions. You could raise the vehicle on demand to get over some bumps or anything in your way, a steep driveway perhaps. You can see your mirror controls and various other small functions just there. Now just behind there I have my top controls, which is good timing because we're going to drop the roof back on this SL. But before I do that, of course you want to see just above my head that glass panel roof, and of course I can stow that nice cover just above, which is going to block out any unwanted sunlight or anything like that. So I'm just going to use this entire cover as the switch and hold it back. Windows all drop down, and we can enjoy the show. This car sort of turns into a transformer, as we can see. Everything folds neatly into place, latches, and then I get a message says I'm good to go. And one more function on this switch is the buttons located just underneath. If you'd like to deploy your safety roll bar, it's fully trimmed in leather. It looks beautiful, and using those buttons, I can deploy it just like so, or I can drop it back down and it stows nicely into its place. It's very, very convenient, luxurious. It feels fantastic here in the interior, extremely comfortable. I could take this car on an extremely long road trip, and not to mention we'd get it done a lot quicker than in a, say, traditional convertible. But let's go see why that is up under the hood of the SL63 AMG, and I'll meet you there. All right, so here under the hood of the SL63, we're taking a look at what really makes this a true performance weapon. And we're seeing here the 6.3 liter V8 powertrain here. No turbos or craziness here. It's just a solid, beautiful V8. Very smooth and extremely powerful. So we're working with about 518 horsepower, and it's somewhere around 460, 450 pound-feet of torque. It's an excellent figure. It's very smooth. It sounds incredible, as you'll hear in a moment. And just look at it under the hood. It's simple. Everything is easy. You can look right around and see every component of the motor. You can see that bright color on the cylinder heads just there, that intake plenum in the center. It all is just a work of art. And as any work of art, the artist has signed it, as with any AMG. Just there, which is a really, really cool feature. You know exactly who hand-built this particular motor. AMG really does it better than almost anybody. But of course, we also dropped the roof, so let's take a quick look before we lose the light at that stunning profile with the roof down. I've always admired this generation of SL because I think it's one of the best looking convertibles with the roof up and down at the same time. Usually, you're going to sacrifice one for the other. But in this case, it just presents absolutely beautifully. I mean, look at that sloped back windshield, how it looks like it's going quickly here when it's just parked. Absolutely wonderful. But the last thing we'll take a look at here is in the trunk, which of course is currently housing the roof. So one touch on that latch, it's going to lift up that massive trunk panel, and we see the roof neatly folded here. But little party trick, it didn't even let me hype it up for you. The roof actually lifts away so that you can access your cargo. It does that automatically, but it's also controlled via this switch just there. Very, very cool. You can see here you have your partition, which you can lift away if the roof is up and you're committed to it being up, and that'll give you a bit more storage. But here we just have a car cover and a Mercedes charger, but you can see a very deep trunk. And for a convertible of this stature and with this much performance, there really isn't anything better on the market. So I'm just going to push this button. It's going to drop that roof nicely back into place, and I will push that trunk drop down and latches neatly into place. If you have any further questions about this stunning Mercedes SL63, please reference the listing at alphacars.com, and there you're going to find all of the relevant contact information. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We hope to hear from you soon. Thank you from AlphaCars.